Hey friends, Cherie here. Welcome back to the channel, Cooking at Home with Cherie. I'm just popping in to share with you all my latest weekly tropical fruit haul, though I did get some vegetables because the prices. But here are my tropical fruits for the week. Yeah, they had the red dragon fruit in stock. The last few times I went, I missed it. They were sold out. They had the white flesh and the yellow ones with the white flesh, but I prefer the red on the outside with the red on the inside. So anyway, I got two of those. They had the chirimoyas this time. They only had 3 left. People are eating those up. And so I got 2 of those. They had these papayas that are like ready to eat on the, they always separate the fruit once they're like really ripe and they need to be sold immediately. So this was $1. I snagged one of those. Should have gotten more, but I already knew I had a lot of prep work to do because let me show you. They had bags of green beans for $1. And this, you should have heard in a recent video where I was talking to you about my Azure Standard haul, and I actually tried their canned green beans for the first time. I usually only eat canned green beans if I pressure can them myself because I feel like otherwise they're like, it was a little bit too mushy for me. And they were a little bit too mushy for me. They were good, but I was so happy I was gonna buy, they sell them always by the pound. They're like $1.69 a pound, which isn't bad. But they had these bags set up for $1 each. So I got 5 bags. And so that's gonna be my first task, is to get those all cleaned and sorted and chopped and pressure canned. So I'm excited about that. Next time I go, I mean, if they don't have more of these dollar bags, I'll just get, the regular ones. The dollar ones, again, they're like, they need to be used within the next couple days typically. So they're moving them out so they don't have food waste. And then I grew these peppers. I cannot believe this huge bag of peppers was $1. And I'm like, I grew this pepper from seed. I forget the name of it. I have it in my head. Like I brought the plant inside, actually. It's still fruiting. But I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been nursing that plant all summer. Started those seeds in January. And I did not harvest this many peppers off that plant. And this bag is $1. So they're, again, normally per pound, there will be more. But they, especially, I think before they get their next fruit in, because a lot of the stuff was empty. They just move it out so that they don't have food waste, which is great. So anyway, I got those. They had shallots, well stocked. This is something that I need to preserve. And again, this is like $2.50 for a bag of shallots. And their shallots are like at a Whole Foods here. They're super expensive and they are often not in stock, and they're sometimes like a little slimy. So I am so glad that this market always has shallots for me. And then those are the green beans. I got a green papaya. I've been wanting to try a couple recipes that use green papaya. And so I think I'm going to do a meal prep with that today. And just to try it out. I've never tried it. I feel like I bought one before and I just threw it. Maybe I have cooked. I think I put it in a stew, or I can't remember. Anyway, they had persimmons, and they're way cheaper there than the bags that I got at Costco, which you should have seen in my last Costco haul. So I just got 4 to try them out. I mean, there was like a crowd around the table, so I think they must be pretty good. So I got 4. I'm going to give these a try, and then when I go for next week's haul, hopefully they'll sell this, just starting the season there, because I do want to freeze dry some, which I'm going to test out with the Costco ones. They're ready. And then there's some other recipes that I found that I want to try. And then, like I said in that Costco video, I mean, persimmons for me, stored properly, they last for like 3-4 weeks. So it's a nice fruit to get now. And just kind of let them continue to ripen, and then you can continue to have fresh fruit. I got they had plantains, and so that was the first time I caught plantains there. That is usually gone. And then I love the Thai bananas. My husband loves them, and we're running a little bit low on freeze-dried bananas. which is one of his favorite little snacks. And I've stopped freezing bananas, and I'm just freeze drying them now. And you can throw those into smoothies, or you can eat them as the chips. You can powder it, put it on top of yogurt. So that's my go-to with the bananas. Now, save some freezer space. I grabbed these 2 bags of peppers, chile morita and chile pasilla. I tried to grow the pasilla this year, but I didn't get any fruit off of it. I have a lot of the seeds. I'm going to try that again. But anyway, I went on and got those for a dish I want to make. I got a pack of the purple sticky rice and a bag of the black rice. Running low on those 2. And then this was, what kind of orange was this? Yeah, this is just a Valencia orange. I just got those because they were $3 or $4. And I juiced those with some ginger and some of this turmeric that I got. The turmeric was $2.99 a pound, which is crazy. And my last time when I did my Azure order, Azure was sold out of the turmeric. And I have a ton of freeze-dried turmeric. I don't need more for powder form, but I wanted to get some more to put in because it's time for me to start a new batch of fire cider. And then I have some other things that I want to do, including just, again, juicing some and having them frozen for wellness shots. So I got those, and they always have turmeric. They always sell turmeric, but sometimes they're kind of low and it's kind of picked over. This today when I went, it must have been like a fresh new box out there, and everything looks in great shape. So I was excited about that. And then I got a couple of these. I already ate 2 of these. These were really good. These are called honey, not clementines, honey mandarins. Anyway, something like that. And I try to remember to put the name on the screen. They're delicious. And they had a lot of seeds. So I saved the seeds. I'm going to eat another one of these. And definitely next week, I hope they have those, because I'm going to get more of those. These are sweet enough to freeze dry and have like the freeze dried orange bits to snack on. And then, I don't know, I might also dehydrate some to put into tea. We'll see. And then the final citrus that I got is they had satsumas. So I got some of those along with the leaves. I'm going to clean these off and put those in the dehydrator with some other stuff, because I can use those for teas. But yeah, and I ate one of these too and saved some of the seeds already. And then these are some passion fruit. Okay, and then over here, I did get 2 of these. This is a very specific Hawaiian sweet potato. I've never seen this anywhere else at any other grocery store. They're very different than the ones that I get from Azure Standard. And I love them. And I already still have some left from my last shop, but I'm going to try to see if I can create slips from these. I'm not sure. I've never, well, they don't last long enough for them to sprout. I don't know if those are like little sprouts forming, but I figured for a couple bucks, I'm going to see if I can, get those to sprout. They have Buro, I think they're called Boro bananas. These are those really little bananas. I've already eaten a couple of them. Oh my goodness, are they delicious? That was the first time I've seen them there. They usually just have these Thai baby bananas, which are also like, they're so much better than the regular store-bought bananas, those big ones. And then these are even better. They're so good. And so this might be something, again, I might go back and do my shop a little early just to get stuff to run through the freeze dryer. And then, and maybe do some other things with. Then I got 2 packs of bitter melon. And then they had this also on the clearance produce table. And so these are 3 pink guava, and these were $1 for the whole pack, so 3 for $1. The total on these bitter melon was like under $5. And so, yeah, I think I covered everything. So that's the haul. So now what I'm going to do, I have to go get some stuff, washed off, dried off, put away into the pantry. I'm gonna soak and prep and sort my green beans so I can pressure can them. And then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do with the rest of the things that are preservation, that I bought for preservation, not for just fresh eating. And then we'll be back to show you what exactly I did with them, okay? We might cut open some fruit. Did I show you this? I think I forgot about this. This is a red honey pomelo. I usually get they have a green pomelo that they sell there and a yellow one. I've never seen the red honey. So I grabbed that. I've saved the seeds from all of them, and I need to sow them. I hope that since I didn't sow them fresh, I don't know if they're going to germinate. And of course, I can't grow a pomelo tree here in Minnesota Zone 4, but I want to see if they sprout. Could be something fun to gift to my friends and family that live in the South, if I can get them to grow. You know, that's what I do in the winter here, is I play around with an indoor garden growing things, y'all, and cooking. But that'll be a fun little winter project. So maybe I'll show you what that looks like on the inside too. All right, let me get to work. And so I'm about to start loading up the dehydrator first. I have a few things I want to dehydrate, including the skins from the oranges. That one was called a honey tangerine. And then I have the satsuma, and I'm not separating the skins on those, but I'll use these dehydrated orange peel skins in a variety of ways, even plopping them into tea. So scrub them up real good, especially if you don't know if they're organic or where they come from. I know the place that I'm getting the food from, they claim that it's natural farming, but they are not like certified organic. So, and it's really just because, I mean, if you're trying to eat healthily, you don't want to be consuming a lot of pesticides. That's really just it. So do what you can to scrub that off. It can kind of, you know, they're kind of counteracting each other in some ways, right? And so try to get your food from places that at least aren't using like super harsh pesticides, okay? But anyway, I got my skins scrubbed clean, and I'm gonna just put them on this rack. And then this is all, well, I'm gonna eat one more tangerine real quick. And then I have some other leaves that I got from the store, and I forgot to show them in the haul, but let me grab that. And I did save the seeds from that honey tangerine. I'm gonna throw all those into some soil. I'm just gonna put them all together in a pot in the grow room and just see what sprouts, because again, I know, you know, I can't grow the fruit indoors. I could probably dwarf it and take it in and out. You know, I have a screen porch that I like to put plants on. And then at minimum, if it grows leaves, I could, you know, use those. So for teas and things. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, because they had some big, beautiful seeds in there. And then I'm going to eat the other satsuma later, because I want to get this started. And then I have space here. Once I finish that, I'll just slide this out and add it on. And then these are the lime leaves that I picked up. I picked up 2 bags. And this other bag I'm going to put in the freeze dryer. You do want to sort through your things. You don't want to put any kind of like spoiling or rotting things. You don't want to be preserving those via canning, freezing, dehydrating in any way. Don't do that. And so I'm going to get this one tray into the freeze dryer, and into the dehydrator, and then we'll move on to the next. All right, the next tray for the dehydrator is bitter melon. So we'll get this loaded up. Okay, next up are the shallots. I think I'm gonna just do this one tray, because I do want to use some of the shallots for another preservation, and I have 3 bags left that are gonna go for the freeze dryer. So I'm gonna pack these in a little bit more, and then we'll get this on and we'll see what we're gonna do next. All right, and the last tray for now are those peppers. Remember, that bag was $1. It's crazy. So here I've just chopped them up. I'm gonna put these in the dehydrator, and then the ones that are remaining, I'm either gonna put these in vinegar or I'm gonna freeze dry them. I haven't decided yet. But let's get this in the freeze dryer. Let's get this into the dehydrator, get that turned on, and I'm gonna start getting the freeze dryer cooled down and start prepping the items that are gonna go into the freeze dryer. Y'all see those pretty seeds in those bananas? So that's that tiny burro banana, and then this is the Thai banana. I'm gonna have just a half of the dragon fruit. I'm gonna say my husband will probably want to have the other half, but half is enough for me because I still have another fruit left from a different haul. I'm gonna go open it for y'all. It's very cool. So we're gonna cut into this beauty, black sapote. It's like a black pudding fruit. And the ones that I got them in different ripenesses, and so my last few are starting to ripen, so I get to eat those now. All right, so I had four seeds rather on that half of the fruit, and then here's what it looks like. It's like it's like if you put a little bit of gelatin into a pudding to make it a little firmer so you could slice it. I don't know, it's a very unusual. I've never had anything like this to describe it to as far as taste nor texture. But I kind of feel like I'm eating like a not too sweet cold pudding. And so yeah, that's gonna be my little dessert. So yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy this. I'm gonna pop this other half of this dragon fruit into the fridge for my husband when he's ready to have it, and I'll make him a little bowl. Then I'll get back here and get these cleaned and pressure canned. I'll probably record the pressure canning videos separately. So yeah, then we'll wrap this video up, just showing you what everything looks like once it's preserved. So let me get back to work. I'll be back. All right, so here's what the dough looks like before going into the dehydrator. It's not a lot, but I have a specific seasoned blend that I want to make, and I need some dehydrated dough for that. All right, friends, so here we are with the freeze-dried items. So the 2 trays of shallots are done. Here are the lime leaves, and then the bitter melon. And yeah, they are very dry. I'm gonna get these jarred up, and I still have the dehydrator running, so we'll do a comparison of, you know, how things look freeze-dried versus dehydrated when the dehydrator is done. Okay, so here's what the bitter melon looks like out of the dehydrator. Here are the dehydrated shallots. Here are those dried peppers. Here's that little bit of dill. Looks like some pepper seeds blew down on there, so I gotta be careful not to mix those in because I don't want spicy dill. I also had a tiny bit of cilantro that I didn't want to go to waste, so I went on and threw that into the dehydrator as well since I had room. And then finally, here are the citrus peels that I put in, and I found that some of the lime leaves blew down onto that shelf as well. So I'm gonna separate those out and get those lime leaves put with the rest of the lime leaves. And then we'll get the citrus put away for future use.